Hello and welcome back to another SPK and Associates vlog. In this vlog, we're going to talk about how engineering organizations are evolving to support more complex, multidisciplinary products. And with that, choosing the right platform that you're going to do all that on becomes a really critical decision that impacts collaboration, scalability, and long-term success. Now that many product teams have made their selection tools or are told what platforms they're using, they may be very stable in what they do from a PLM perspective. But in this video, we're trying to help development teams and leaders that are trying to select a new platform. And we're going to talk today about Windchill PLM and 3D Experience for their next engineering platform. I'm joined by Daniela Alcantar. Daniela, feel free to introduce yourself.
Thanks, Michael. Yep, I'm Daniela. I'm a client program manager here at SPK and Associates. Been around for almost 9 years now, mainly in the world of PLM, SolidWorks PDM, Windchill, Creo, all the fun CAD tools and their PLM counterparts.
Cool. And Danielle is going to help us break down what really matters in these platforms, and we're going to talk about business outcomes, digital thread, strategy, long-term platform fit, the whole thing today, or at least we're going to try to cram that into about 10 minutes. So, Danielle, the first question here. So, when engineering organizations evaluate like a Windchill or a 3DX, what business outcomes should they prioritize, like collaboration or scalability or use upgradeability? And how do those platforms differ in helping teams reach those goals?
Great question, Michael. And I will focus strongly on collaboration, scalability, and upgradability because I think these are major features that will impact companies right now and in the future, long term. We all know that moving away to a new software is a whole bag of worms. So we're going to look at this as a long term, in it for the long haul solution. So, starting with collaboration, the emphasis tends to differ between the two. Windchill is often recognized for structure and governance, things like change management, configuration control, iteration across engineering and other teams. So, for organizations that prioritize discipline with processes and coordination through multiple systems, that could be a real advantage. Now, 3D Experience, on the other hand, is very neat because it has a more unified collaborative environment when it comes to modeling and design collaboration, particularly for teams who are already aligned with Dassault tools. So many organizations have the ability to bring in design, simulation, and manufacturing together into a more connected experience. So both great tools, and it's really about, hey, what's your organization looking like? Uh, You'll also see when it comes to scalability that both platforms are well proven in large global environments. The differentiating factor seems to be ecosystem strategy, as I hinted at. Whether you're building around a more open, multi-system landscape or standardizing more tightly within a single vendor ecosystem. Now, when it comes to upgradability, uh, this is interesting to look at. Windchill customers tend to focus on minimizing customizations to keep those upgrades predictable, while 3D Experience customers tend to see a good outcome when governance is managed, especially in more complex deployments. So, looking at it in terms of Windchill, maybe keep it a bit more simple if you can. And 3D Experience is making sure you have the right process going forward. But both very good with upgrades. So not it's not a matter of can you upgrade, you will, but what things to keep in mind. So overall, both tools are very capable, but it's more about how the platform aligns with your business and your operating model.
Yep. And you mentioned it briefly there, but just the component of how is cloud involved in your strategy, right? Like I think that makes a big difference too. And it doesn't mean that because Windchill is an on-prem tool that it can't support being in a cloud architecture, but it's just there's some differences in that realm. So, Daniela, I want to turn to a little bit more of what we see with these, the complexity of products. So, as these products now become more multidisciplinary with mechanical, electrical, and software components, how does Windchill's approach to that digital thread compare to 3DX? in supporting cross-team visibility and faster decision making to get that product out to market?
Great question. So Windchill has traditionally been very strong in that structured traceability. You have requirements, configuration, change processes in a way that supports regulated industries. As you know, Michael, a lot of our regulated customers live on Windchill. So it really helps support those requirements. Organizations that are focused on compliance, variant management, lifecycle governance find that approach very effective, that they really are focused on that. While 3D Experience takes a slightly different angle, it connects disciplines through model-based collaboration and virtual twin capabilities. So for companies who are leaning more into simulation, system engineering, and immersive product modeling, there's also some features around, shop floor where you can model your warehouse if you need to. That kind of integrated environment can really help with cross-functional visibility. So one simple way to think about it is Windchill tends to shine in structured traceability and enterprise-wide configuration control. You have service teams, engineering, QA, all under one umbrella, while 3D Experience is a bit more immersive and model-driven, so more of the CAD across disciplines. Both support the digital thread. They're just emphasizing different aspects where you have traceability, compliance, and more of the model-based definition and model sharing. Ultimately, the faster decision making comes down to clarity and the ability to have the right information in front of you without doubting the source or confirming elsewhere. So this really does depend on, hey, will that clarity come from immersive modeling, or will it come from a more structured or the traditional, compliance and change management that Windchill has offered for a very long time now? So, and that goes back to your company needs and your organizational culture.
Yep. Yep. And good points about the fact that they're both modern platforms, right? They're both of them are going to be very good at supporting kind of all of those components, but they do it slightly differently, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so last question. So for companies that are planning really that next decade of digital transformation and changing the way that they make products, what factors like total cost of ownership, ease of adoption, or integration flexibility should most influence whether they go with Windchill or 3DX for that, better long-term platform choice?
Got it. Great question, Michael. I'll cover all three as every organization might place slightly higher priority on one over the other. But when you're looking at this long-term horizon, right, we want you to stay with this tool for a long time and really get the most use out of your investment. Uh, let's look at that total cost of ownership. It goes beyond licensing, so I would definitely recommend looking at any included infrastructure, implementation, upgrades, and ongoing user enablement. Think about that. And also, while I say think about that, feel free to reach out to us at SPK to talk about those options. But definitely, besides licensing, what servers infrastructure is needed, how much will the initial implementation run, and also ongoing user support. So once you have the system, you want to keep it running. I like to think of it as a living, breathing thing that you have to keep going with and making it better continually. So keep that in mind when you're looking at cost of ownership. It's not just licensing. Windchill can be seen as more modular, whereas 3D Experience can deliver strong value when you're looking at companies that are already embedded in the Dassault system. So Windchill has some options of products where you can select them now, or you can add them on later. And 3D Experience has a lot of benefits on the modeling side, and you can do the same there. Now, ease of adoption. Yeah, this is a great one to talk about. Windchill.
It's the hardest thing, right? It's getting people to use the tool, right? It's the hard thing.
Yeah, it really is. And, we can talk about this is how much it will cost. This is, integration flexibility with Windchill having various components that you can add, and 3D Experience has some flexibility also. But the ease of adoption, definitely saving the best for last, Michael. You can get all the right tools and do everything, but at the end of the day, your users have to be confident when they are using it. So Windchill's process-oriented structure can provide clarity for teams, while 3D Experience offers role-based dashboards that users find interesting. So there are ways to entice your users, right, and not make it seem like, hey, there's a brand new platform you have to learn, and you know, you can definitely look at what the users can be excited about. With Windchill, there's definite predictability there, and it is a widely used tool. Some of your user base may already be familiar. 3D Experience is a bit newer, more of a modern platform, but that's okay because they have things like those dashboards and some very interesting model sharing available as well. So the learning curve may be there either way. Just know that there's really cool tools that your users should be excited about using, whether you go the Windchill route or the 3D Experience route.
Awesome. Thank you, Daniela. And you're right. We could probably talk about this for days, especially the adoption component, because I think that is the hardest one, right? But your points are well taken. Thank you for sharing and giving the audience some information about what kind of things engineering leaders need to be thinking about when they're evaluating these platforms that are probably going to shape their product development strategy for maybe decades to come. So thanks for sharing today. Appreciate your time.
Absolutely.
So if you are currently weighing Windchill versus 3D Experience or just starting to think about modernizing your engineering environment, the right decision can come down to aligning the technology with your business goals, processes, and what your teams ultimately need going forward. If you like help in that evaluation of those options, or even building a roadmap to what that future state of product development looks like, feel free to reach out to the team at SPK and Associates. We'll link our contact details in the description of the video. That's all for this YouTube video. Thanks for joining. We'll hopefully see you next time on the SPK and Associates channel. Thank you.